Hello, everyone. Welcome to Therapy Clips with Dr. O. I'm from Human Service Consultants. Today, our topic will focus on a communication skill called reflection. When you use this particular technique, you become a better listener. Reflections allow you to repeat back what someone had just said to you, but you use your own words when doing so. It shows that you hear the other person, but not only do you hear the other person, you're trying to understand what the person is conveying to you. When you are in reflection, it may feel funny in the beginning because this is a skill that you must practice. You might think that the other person will become annoyed with you because you're saying to them similar words that they said to you. However, what it does, it allows two people in conversation to be on the same page and to ensure that the information is being heard correctly. So I am now going to give you an example of what reflection looks like in a conversation. I am the speaker and you are the listener. So as the speaker, I am saying to you, I get so angry when you spend so much money without telling me. We're trying to save for a house. Now you as the listener are saying back to me, using the technique of reflection, we are working hard to save for a house. So it is very frustrating when it seems I don't care. So what happened in this conversation is I said, we are trying to save for a house. And you said, we are working hard to save for a house. So you said the same words back to me that I said to you in this fictitious scenario. So once again, what it does, it will allow the person to understand you and you to understand the person. And it will allow the person who is on the listening end to understand that you are actively listening to them. So now let's move into some quick tips. Always remember your tone of voice when you're using the technique of reflection. The tone of voice is very important because what it does, it conveys your emotions. Using a tone of voice that comes across as a statement with a bit of uncertainty may confuse another person. So your goal is to express, I think this is what you're telling me, but correct me if I'm wrong. So what that does is it makes sure in your thinking that you heard the person correctly. So what you're saying is, I think this is what you're telling me, but correct me if I'm wrong. So in summary, what that tells the other person is that you are trying to get on the same page as they are as far as the thinking process goes. Your reflections don't have to be perfect. Keep that in mind. If the other person corrects you, that's a good thing, because what the other person is saying to you is, no, I said it this particular way, but I want you to understand this is what I'm trying to say. And that way, the both of you have a better understanding of what is being said. Always try to reflect emotions, even if the person you're listening to didn't clearly describe them. So what you're doing is, when you're sad, you're reflecting sadness. When you're happy, you're reflecting happiness, and so on. This is the emotional content of the reflection process. You may be able to pick up on how the person is feeling just by their tone of voice or by their body language. Remember, we talked about body language before. Now, what I am going to do is I am going to now show you how reflections could be used in a sentence. So switch up your phrasing or your reflections, and this is how it will sound when you do so. Try some of these. I hear you saying that, and then you fill in the blank. The car needs to be moved. So what that tells the person is that you hear what they are saying, but the way you say it may tell them that you're serious about the car being moved. Another example. It sounds like you feel, and then you fill in the blank. It sounds like you feel that if the car isn't moved, it will get hit. And so you say it in a way that the person understands that you're serious about the car being moved. Another example is, you're telling me that, and you fill in the blank. You're telling me that if the car isn't moved, it may get hit by an ongoing or oncoming car. Okay. And so, with that being said, the communication is going back and forth that the car needs to be moved out of traffic or it will get hit by another car that may be coming down the street. So, focus on reflecting the main point in a conversation. For example, the car needs to be moved. Don't worry too much about all of the little details, especially if a speaker have a lot to say. So what's being said here is that you need to pick up on the key points of the conversation so that you can know how to provide feedback. And feedback is an exchange between two people. You say something and the person listens, and then they provide feedback to you and vice versa. Okay, so now I hope you understand how to use reflections just a little bit more, but of course it requires practice. If you are in my group, I sent out 2 practice assignments that you are to work with on Friday and write into your journal book this practice response to the practice activity. With that being said, I want you to have a blessed day. Take care of yourselves. Until we speak again, be safe.